In today's video, we'll be creating this design. This is a tower that has this outer skin with a diagonal diamond grid. And so what I've done here is created a tutorial showing you all of the steps from beginning to end on how to first create the base geometry, subdivide it, and create all of these details. But what's great about this is you can also set any geometry. So in here we have this surface. We can set this here and apply it to that surface in any direction as well. So I'll be going over all of the steps in detail. I'll also have the script available to download if you want to see how things plug in. That'll be available for a limited time, and I also have other resources and tutorials that can help you get started. So with that being said, thank you very much for coming by. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And with that being said, thank you for being here, and let's jump into the tutorial. So in this video, I'm creating this design. It's an outer skin for a building, and it's going to be based off of a diagonal grid. So what I'll do here is start by creating an arc, and that's going to represent the base geometry. We can use any segment, but I think this one is going to be useful because not every single time are we going to use flat surfaces. Sometimes we'll use an arc. So let's change it here using a slider. So we're using an arc component. This is going to be the arc size, and now we're going to extrude it in the Z direction. And I can just borrow this component for the height. So this is going to be the size. This is going to be the height. Next is, this is going to be the surface. So we'll call this the base surface, which we can also change. Now that we have this, let's create these subdivisions. So on this one, I'll actually be using Lunchbox. And for that one, you can see that we have diamond panels. And now let's pick the subdivisions for the U and V. Okay, so now with this one, let's get started with the script. Now, when using a diagonal grid, you will always have a leftover here at the top and at the bottom of these triangles and on the side of these triangles, and those are called tri-panels. And so notice that when you use a diamond panel, you have the diamond panels, which are the ones in the middle, and the tri-panels, which are the ones on the outside. We're going to start by creating one module, and we will apply that same thing to both diamond panels and tri-panels. So for now, let's just hide these. And now using this panel, we're going to first bring in the center point. So I'll bring in an area component. Next, I will scale it. So geometry will be that surface, the centroid will be the center, and the factor will make it 0.95, because when we look at our reference, there's a little bit of a gap here between the panels, and so that is what we're doing here. Notice that now if we graphed it, so we picked just one of them, and if we graphed it, notice that they will all have a small gap, and that's done through the scaling. So this is called the gap. Next, we're going to take this geometry. We're going to go to an offset curve, but this is going to be offset curve on surface. Now let's bring this back just to a single panel and apply or set this geometry into the offset curve and also the surface, because this is both the surface and it has an outer curve. And now we can use an offset slider. I'll set this and I'll actually increase the maximum. And what we'll do here is take this and divide it. So I'll do a divide curve and use a slider for the subdivisions. And now also increase this. So let's set this to 50. And now use a interpolated curve or a NURBS curve. So I'll actually use NURBS curve on this one. And notice that it will be open here. So we do need to go to periodic, set Boolean to true. And notice that now we have this curve. We can also change the degree at which it creates a curve. So these are some more modifications that we can create. We'll leave this one here at 2. 0 doesn't work, so let's set the bottom limit to 1. And then increase it. Okay. Now we're going to loft this one and this one. But notice that this is offset by 9.1. So let's have one that offsets by 0. And then we will internalize data on that one. So this is at 0. And then this is offset. And now let's loft together those two. Notice that this is not lofting because we need to graft this information and to make sure that these two connect. And in the same way that we just did that, then we can apply to all. So let's hide this and go here to graft. So the panel gap kind of creates that gap here. Let's do 0.98. And then this is going to be the offset 1. This is going to be the circle or the fillet. So let's just call this fillet. And then this is kind of the quality of it. So leaving it at 1 kind of creates these straight sections, and this one creates those. Next, we're going to take this and we're going to now extrude it to give it some depth. Because right now we only have the surfaces. So now we'll go back to list item. So let's flatten this. Now for this panel, notice that we need to extrude perpendicular to it. So we'll use a evaluate surface. The point is going to be the middle, so I'll use a panel. So quotation marks 0.5, comma 0.5. Notice that it creates it down here, but if we reparameterize it, it gives us basically the centroid, but it also gives us a frame or a normal that we can use as an amplitude. So either the frame or, like I said, the normal could be the amplitude of the vector. And now we can give it the depth. So we'll just use a slider. Panel depth. And then here, extrude. And we will be extruding this. So it actually offsets backwards. So let's either put a negative behind this one, but I actually like to use the negative after vector because you could use this vector as both positive and negative. If you place it here, then this vector can only be positive. And so this gives us that three-dimensional panel. And then graft this one. So let's go back here. And let's use a geometry empty component to place this into. Group it and call these panels. And then here we'll use a custom preview so we can just see it with some material and a color swatch. So let's hide all of this. And let's take a look. So notice that it does it to all of these panels, and now we can see it with some materials. We're going to go here to 2, then a little bit more, a little bit less here. I want to see the limit of this. So these are just doing it to the tri panels or to the diamond panels. But if we add this one, notice that it does create them, but it creates a larger offset for those. But I think on this one, it's going to look better if we just kind of leave it like this. And then notice that we can always just go back and change any of these adjustments. So on this one, in the example one, they're a little bit shorter this way. So let's see if we have, I think if we just do 10 this way, and then 10 this way, there it is. And we can make all the adjustments. So this is a pretty straightforward tutorial. It's more than anything showing you how to apply this pattern to a surface. So we started by creating the arc, creating the base surface, then using the U and V subdivisions for the diamond panels. This is a plugin, so make sure you have that downloaded. Then here, you'll see that we have the center point, then the panel gap, which can be larger if we wanted to. But what makes it look good is having a small gap here as a tolerance. And then here, the offset is going to be for the gap, for the opening here. And then lastly, this is going to determine kind of that circle inside, whether it's a perfect circle or whether it gets closer to the original shape. I think it looks good somewhere in between. And then at the end, you have this one. Now let's see if we can apply this to a different base geometry. So let's go back here. We have all of these options. This is going to be the degree. Now let's go back here. And where this script is separated is here, because here is the base geometry, and then this creates those panels. So going back here to this one, let's create a plane plane surface. We'll rotate it vertically. Use a surface component. And then use this as an override. Now let's see how much larger we need to make it for it to work. But it does work. Sometimes the U and V might be flipped. So you need to be aware of that. But let's say we took this and we did cage edit, bounding box. And we just shifted this. Let's see if it still functions. Yep. Or even if we shift it vertically like this. It will apply to any surface. So that's useful because when you create a script, you want it to be able to have the functionality to be used over and over again in different cases. And so this will be perfect for that. We'll leave it here on this one. Which means that this is a fully parametric script. And then here you can go set one surface and then override this extrusion into this one. So sometimes I like to do a set of instructions. So set one surface and replace the base surface. And then I'll place it somewhere around and then just make the color be transparent. And this is for those of you who want to download it and want some instructions to see how it works, how to get this working. So thank you very much for being here. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about parametric design. In this one, it's going to be how to create panels. And yeah, I'll hope to see you in the next video.